Hey guys, welcome back to RevAtlas. I'm Sandeep, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the camera review of the Narzo 10A. Now please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also turn on the notifications to avoid missing any videos from us in the future. Now let's begin the video. The Narzo 10A features a triple camera setup at the back, which comprises of a primary 12 megapixel f1.8 camera with 1x2.8 in sensor size and 1.25 micron pixel size, as well as two 2 megapixel sensors, one for macro and the other for depth. Images from the rear camera had good dynamic range and great white balance, and the saturation levels are also quite natural compared to some older Realme models, and that is a welcome change. There isn't much detail to work with, however, and while it seems alright at a glance, pixel peeping will reveal this. Not that you should expect much more from this price point, but I'm just stating my observations. One thing that I feel needs improvement definitely is the focusing, especially on objects or subjects up close. It struggles to lock focus properly, and this is aggravated further when you use the portrait mode, as you can see from these shots. Speaking of which, the portrait mode seems to have two polar characteristics. It's not very good with humans, and while the blurring is good, the edge detection is iffy and unrefined. However, on static objects it does very well, and in fact sometimes with very impressive edge detection and blur results. The performance is actually pretty good for a phone at this price point when artificial lighting conditions are introduced. But it gets bad when the light really dips, as there is no night mode especially to help it in such situations. The macro camera is decent but nothing to rave about, but considering how the primary camera isn't really great at retaining detail when cropping, this may come in handy more often than not compared to other phones. The front-facing camera is a 5 megapixel f2.4 sensor with 1x5 inch sensor size and 1.12 micron pixel size. Images from the front-facing camera are pretty sharp with good level of detail, and funnily in good light it may even look better than the rear camera results at times. But note that this is only because the subject manages to highlight the sharpness. Portrait mode is actually good and better at edge detection than the rear camera, but the issue is without HDR being applied in portrait mode, it results in weird effects, particularly if you have a bald head like me that bounces off light and ends up looking like I have a notched head. Videos from the rear facing camera max out at 1080p 30fps without EIS, and detailing is decent and so is dynamic range, and you can't expect more at this price point. But the focus issue is definitely evident when you try changing the point of focus from one to the other, and even if you manually try to change the focus, it doesn't always work. Like in the photo mode, it struggles to lock focus on objects up close. Video from the front facing camera maxes out at 1080p 30fps as well, and there is good detail and sharpness in the video even though there isn't EIS, and it looks fairly good overall for something at this price. But the audio is a bit weird and seems to sound like you're underwater, and it seems like the excessive noise reduction is the culprit for this. This is the front-facing camera on the Realme Narzo 10A, capturing 1080p 30fps video with the front-facing camera. Let me know what you guys think about the overall dynamic range, the sharpness, how well it's picking my voice in this scenario, and the stabilization as well. Overall, the Narzo 10A is not a bad camera phone when you look at the price point, but then again, most people are looking for better camera phones these days, and if camera is a priority, then I would suggest investing a bit more and getting a more capable camera phone than going for the 10A if camera is your utmost priority. If it isn't, then perhaps this is still a decent buy for you at this particular price point. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you again in the next one.